Hey there, Ben. What's going on? How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. You like Diablo? Has there been a trial date set for Biscuit Cat? I never played a Diablo. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with Diablo, I'm not gonna lie. I've played a ton of Diablo. Just kicking it. Right on. Nothing else better to do on a Sunday? I feel that. Yeah, Diablo is one of the games that when it came out on the very first PlayStation, me and my one friend would just play it constantly. That, and there was a Baldur's Gate game that was really fucking awesome too. It was kind of the same thing. You got to just run around and just slash stuff up. June and July, the trial began. Well, if you need a character witness, you've got a good pool of people to pull from. I've seen enough of that cat to know he's a good guy.
Yet I still feel him. I still hear his cries.
But yeah, this, I don't know, I like this. I like Diablo with a controller, but nothing beats a PC. And I thankfully did not lose my freaking Battle.net account like I thought. I got lucky and my Mac was still signed in, so I was able to just get on there and receive the code and actually recover it. But that's a nightmare. Like, you'd think there'd be a better backup plan other than just like, well, you lost your account. Because I don't know what I even did. I was logged into the authenticator forever. Like, nothing changed. But this is a hardcore run. So if I die, my character's gone, and that'll be like 35 hours down the drain if I just let this character die. I don't want to do that. I was up way too late last night watching the hockey game. As you can see, Dallas Stars fan. Right? I mean, I don't know what I did wrong. I was logged in. I'm still logged in on my authenticator. Or the app. They actually turned the Battle.net app into the authenticator, but I did everything to migrate from that. And it still freaking ended up where I was locked. But yeah, I think if you can just do a send me my phone, you know, send a text message to my phone or whatever. Yeah, that would just suck. You lose your whole channel because you bought a new phone and you can't receive a freaking code or whatever. That's just crazy. Yeah, that is scary stuff right there. Shoot, I would have lost probably $500 worth of games with everything that I have on here and all the DLC. So that'd be worse than losing my YouTube at this point. I could at least create like Steve K2 and start following people and it might catch on. The 50 people that actually watch my stuff would be like, hey, I was wondering what happened to Steve. But I worked at Apple for 6 years, and when two-factor authentication first happened, it was an absolute nightmare because people were literally losing their Apple ID. And I mean, your Apple ID is tied to like Find My iPhone, iCloud. I mean, there isn't anything that you do on an Apple device that isn't related to your Apple ID. So when they changed Apple IDs to require everybody go to two-factor authentication, it was an absolute nightmare because people were just getting new devices and not having a way to receive that verification code. And yeah, like you said, just being locked out, like completely like told by Apple, there's nothing we can do to help you recover your account because you don't have a trusted device or a linked phone number. So there was, I mean, shoot, they had to have lost at least 1 million customers just by people being locked out of their devices and being told, yeah, can't help you. You know, pay attention to your security suggestions from now on. You know, like you direct them to a website that was like, well, here's everything I can tell you about recovering your Apple ID, and you'd have to just read off this nonsense that was basically like, well, you're screwed, so don't do this again. When you do get a new Apple ID, please don't lose access to it like this again. That was basically all the message told you. It was like, wow, sorry this happened. You might want to not do this ever again. Most people are like, yeah, I'll never buy an Apple device ever again. But then you've got your boss telling you that you didn't position that. You know, it was all about positioning, Steve. That customer would have given you a way better survey response if you had only just positioned them a little bit better. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I just told this person they lost every purchase. Their iPhone that's missing is never going to be able to be found again because we can't get them back into iCloud. And you're telling me it's all about how I position that to them? Like, yeah, that's easy to say when you're not the guy on the phone. Dudes just come strolling out from under there like, ah. Sure is a lot of blood though, isn't it? I don't remember cutting anybody in half. I thought that was going to be an event. This game is actually really good with showing you things on the map and making it easy to get there. This should be probably a masterclass on how to do a map in a video game. It's quite literally like anything that is a quest, you can just hover over, see all the information you need, and then just run or set a automatic trial to it. I like that. They really made the classes unique in this too. I can't wait to try the Vessel of Hatred, Spirit Caller, I think it's called. It almost looks like a summoner and a druid combined. I'm gonna give that a run as soon as I beat the first easy mode on this one. I don't know that I'm gonna do hardcore with a Spirit Caller because I've never done that class.
You want an audience with our chieftain?
I do miss the fishing and Monster Hunter back. Now that I don't have to do it and I have the trophy, I think I could actually sit down and have fun with that now. It's been a little bit of time.
Maybe the chieftain will acknowledge you.
Now that time has passed and I've reflected upon it, I think I could go fishing again. Look at that dog. I'm a sucker. Anytime there's a dog, I gotta go run and try to pet it. I think that was probably my favorite part about that last Zelda, is you could get down there and play with the dog.
Clear, but our spirits are low. Baltok, the chieftain's champion, was recently slain. Now the Khazra are in possession of his weapon, the fabled grizzly.
I'm gonna try and get back on Monster Hunter and do some content.
It's difficult to
Hopefully,
ask this of an outsider.
I find some time to actually play with
Please,
Dom Awesome.
reclaim the hammer from those
Get on there and do some hunts.
leaving it in their hands.
I actually just want to test the crossplay and see how PC and PlayStation
He was last
play
seen
together.
being dragged into a cavern in Malnock. We display these
We do live in pretty good times. I remember when it was almost crazy to think about Xbox, PlayStation, PC all playing together, and now it's just kind of like, yeah, guys, let's just do it. Doesn't make any sense. Is Xbox dying? Is it just me, or is Xbox dead?
The collector. It hunts north.
Like, I swear to God, I went on the Xbox store the other day, and it was embarrassing. It was like worse than all the shovelware that you see on Steam sometimes. Like, Steam can get into some ruts where there's nothing but like anime porn that comes out for 3 months. But man, Xbox doesn't even have that.
Ah, thank the fates that you live. I will destroy the chalice, and with some luck, that will be the end of it.
Xbox looks like the store of like recent releases on Xbox right now. Literally looks like the Android store or the Play Store in like year one. It's like nothing you would ever want to even think about spending money on. Alright, so I guess that mission was all just returning to that city right there. See what this area is. Looks like there's something big in this area to search around for. Right? Yeah, Steam is embarrassing sometimes. Like, man, I don't even want to know or want people to know that I had this crap showing on my computer screen right now. And then sometimes they've got a, well, it actually hasn't even been a great Steam sale in a while either. I think my problem with the Steam sales now is that I've bought everything before the damn sale goes on, and so I don't have anything to get excited about anymore. So it's crazy about having disposable income. All of a sudden you realize, damn, I have everything I want. Act like that's a problem. The App Store is pretty shitty too. The amount of crap that's on the App Store. I don't know, even Nintendo has some pretty questionable stuff on the Switch store the last time I was on there. You know, like, that's the reason why the biggest reason why I'm not getting the Switch. Oh, did you actually see, Ben? You were right, actually. Ah, man, I'm glad you're here, and I can actually tell you this on mic while you're here listening. You were right. Xbox has announced that games are going up to $80. I don't know if you saw that, but it was just announced that Xbox is raising the price of games, exactly as you predicted. Exactly to a T as you predicted it. Oh, well, Nintendo does it. Everybody else is going to do it. I don't even think it took 2 months for that to happen. But yeah, you were right. You called it. Yep, Ben was the first one to say, if Nintendo does it, everybody else is going to do it. But going back to the Switch 2, the reason I'm not getting the Switch 2 is I'm going to be honest. Donkey Kong and Mario Kart, I could wait. Those are two games I can wait to play. It's not that I don't want, let's just say it's not that I don't want to play. I could wait to play that. That's not something that makes me want to go out and run and spend money on a brand new console. Especially when all the third-party games are going to be stuff that I probably bought already. Man, that thing was slow moving. Ah, I ran right into it. Get out of there. Oh, you're gonna die. Man, strong enemies just came out of nowhere out of that. Damn, something there is chewing me up. Man, that last mob was crazy hard, and everybody else in here was melting. So there's something in this area. What am I? Find caller, the collector. Kaul Collier. Hi there, Fire Kitten. How's it going? Thanks for stopping in. Playing some Diablo. Looking for Caller the Collector. Gotta do some side missions before I get into the main. I think I'm in Act 2 right now. But yeah, I just got the DLC for this, so I'm kind of taking it a little bit slower. This is a hardcore character with permadeath. This Fire Kitten no Biscuit Cat. I could see a collaboration in the works there. Were you here earlier, Ben, when I was talking about Xbox raising prices exactly like you said was going to happen? Exactly like you said, once Nintendo raised prices, everybody else is going to follow suit. It's exactly what Microsoft said they're doing now. They're matching the Nintendo prices. I heard it on your channel first. I'm doing good, Kitten. How are you doing? A little upset that I got to go back to work tomorrow, but I think that's going to be something I deal with for the next 40 years. Hope you're all doing good. I don't remember finding this guy, but apparently I did. Oh, you're good. Right on. Yeah, let's do that. Instead of running all the way back. I know people that hate fast travel, like it just ruins a game, but who the hell would want to just run back all the way through an area where you just killed everything? Like, there's nothing there to do. Let me fast travel.
And foe know that you have brought down the beast.
I don't know. I know it's a modern game convenience that isn't very popular, but I don't know. I like fast travel. Now that I'm old, I don't have unlimited time to just sit and run back and forth in a game. Probably need to spend this ability point. What kind of snack? I wonder what kind of snack Ben's making. We'll have to see. I had my donut this morning. Kind of getting addicted to Donut Castle. Not that I ever wasn't. But now I can't seem to go a day without going there and getting a damn strawberry frosted donut. As Kristen would call my Homer Simpson. Oh, right on. You subbed to me again, huh? Were you not? What, am I subbed to you? Let me see. Yeah, I'm subscribed to you. Right on. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. I have people that tell me all the time they're unsubbed and all kinds of nonsense. I don't get it. I must have done something to really tick YouTube off. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm subbed to you, Fire Kitten. Thank you for that. You're awesome. Getting close to 500. Getting close. Seems like for every time I gain one, 3 drop off for whatever reason, but I'm sticking with it. I'm gonna trudge along. So I can finally get one of these endgame abilities. So what do I want to do? Avalanche, shatter, after freezing, explode for 45% of damage. I think I'm gonna go with fire. I've been focusing on fire. You're burning a fan. Let's go with that. Yeah. I'm gonna go with that. I use a lot more fire. My ultimate is fire. So I think I'm gonna go with that. So let's pick an area I haven't been. Let's go here. This looks like a dungeon, I think. It's not too far. What about you, Kitten? Have you played Diablo ever? Ben says he's never played a Diablo. I probably put 2,000 hours. I mean, that isn't even a joke. Into Diablo 3. Because I did like every character. Probably 500, or every class at least once. Probably 200, 500 hours on each one of those. But I gave up on this one. Too much stuff came out around this time, and it was like, it's just more Diablo. But now that there's an expansion, they've had some time. Like, I don't know, Blizzard always seems to release something a little half-assed and then figure it out. At least modern day Blizzard. I remember when Diablo 3 launched and you couldn't get online, or you had to wait in the queue for 10 minutes to get online. Like, that was the worst. I don't think I've had to wait in the queue for more than 10 seconds on Diablo 4, so either nobody's playing this or they got their server issues sorted out. Probably somewhere right in the middle of that. But I'm a Diablo fan, I always have been. Me and my buddy Scott used to always quote the little one-liners. Satan is perfect. I was like go on every single time. Yeah, it happens early, and then you got Decker Kane. Stay a while and listen. That's some treasure you've got there in that Herodic cube. Greetings, traveler. I used to watch videos of the guy that pranked people as Deckard Cain from Diablo. He had like a little, one of those little, oh God, I don't know, you just push buttons and it just says little lines. He was just pranking people with it. It was great. I don't even remember if that, or what that channel was called. Probably just look up Deckard Cain pranks people. Uh-oh, and there's just a boss in here, it looks like. Shit. Oh, man. Sneaking up on me. Pouring an axe on me. Hopefully there's no Colorado Avalanche fans in the chat today. Because I am wearing my Stars jersey. I don't want to offend anybody. Unless you are an Avs fan. Then I guess today it's okay. We won. It was a hell of a game. I thought it was over. And we came back. And we're going to get healthy, hopefully, in round 2. Talking about getting some players back. Where's this boss? He's running from me. That wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Oh, that's not a boss. He's just a elite. I love these little familiars. These things are a lifesaver. I was almost dead. My whole character would have been gone. One of those little familiars that saved my ass. I think it was at like level 25. Because I had that familiar spell. I was able to kill that last dude. Oh, ginger green tea, right on. Ben staying healthy with the working out, the green tea. Yeah, just don't tell my doctor I've been playing Elden Ring. He ain't gonna want to hear that. Oh, she. Not good for my blood pressure. I think I'm at like the very last level of Elden Ring as far as like just beating the game and saying I finished it. And I just don't think I have it in me. I got so tired of that game. There's just something about like dying a billion times. I don't know. It's not for me. I think it's a great game. But having to be so goddamn perfect just to beat like a random enemy. You know, not even the bosses in that game. You know, you're talking about just a random large enemy in that game enough to just knock you down at any point. I don't know. Some people like that. It's not for me. I want the instant gratification of mowing down enemies. It's like where I'm at right now, there's no way you could tell me that, like, oh, I'm just not good at the game. That's why I don't like it. I'm literally at the very last level. You can't get there without being somewhat good at the game. Like, you gotta give me credit for that. Like, I did not get 50% of the trophies into the last fucking level of that game and not be good. It's just, it's too much for me. I don't need that stress. I play games to have fun. I don't need to get fucking stressed out. Obviously, some games, I mean, you can't avoid stress, obviously, it's like your average game. I mean, even that little humanity game Ben was playing, that's gotta be enough to stress you out. Different kind of stress, though, when you're talking about this is the 100th time I've fought this boss. I gotta run all the way through the level again. I just ran out of patience. I wanted to play other games more than I want to beat Elden Ring. I think that's what it comes down to, is there's other games I'd rather play than to just beat Elden Ring. Oh, those things are fucking brutal. There aren't too many enemies that can just shoot through a door like that. That caught me off guard. So I gotta collect animals. Paying attention to that. Is that your go-to treat, Ben? The ginger green tea? I go with a blended caramel frappuccino. My wife makes the best damn one around. I know people that can't stand cold coffee, but I can't stand hot coffee. I don't know that I would say that I can't stand it, but I would just I would never prefer hot coffee over it. Even in the wintertime. Oh, jasmine green tea, the best, right on. I can't say I've ever had that. But tea is, I mean, forgive my ignorance, but tea is a lot more kind of like a everyday thing over there, though, right? Yeah, I get my coffee in the morning. And then I'm like, what am I gonna drink? So I've been going with cranberry grape juice. I used to be addicted to Coca-Cola. Like just straight up addicted to it. Probably 6 cans of Coke a day. I mean, like that isn't even a freaking joke. And that was probably what was giving me all my weight issues. I didn't really even have weight problems. I'm just like everybody else. Could lose a few pounds and benefit from it. But that was all Coke. Like once I quit drinking Coke, like an addiction, I actually had no problem cutting weight. It's actually to the point where I have to like almost consider stopping losing weight Like if I lose any more, it might be the opposite way where I'm unhealthy. But I've always been freaking skinny. It was kind of weird to actually become slightly overweight because I've always been the skinny guy. Oh, you haven't had fizzy drinks in years. I try to limit it. Maybe I'll have one a day, you know, maybe, but that's still an incredible drop from where I was at. Like absolutely massive difference. I gotta salvage all this junk. I'm at the point now where there's almost no loot to look forward to other than this legendary stuff. I can pretty much just go in here and salvage anything that isn't orange. I really like how they make the UI really obvious to let you know, like, okay, this is junk. That's not junk. Stuff like this, you can actually salvage and then transmutate other stuff to look like this. So if you like the look of this gear, you can actually give that gear's properties to another piece of gear. That was a huge problem with all of these types of games. You know, like you collect a cool sword and then you run 3 feet down the dungeon and you find a better sword. I'd say it's probably the biggest problem with Diablo, and they found a way to fix that. Because then you always end up running around with a character that's got mixed match armor and looks stupid as hell. Like, I kind of look stupid because I haven't been doing that. I'm kind of waiting until later in the game to worry about how I end up, or how the character looks. That gives me a boost enough for me to care. And these were little reward chests that you basically pick up. Yeah, none of that gear's good. Throw this in my stash. Get back out there. Yeah, I think the carbonation of a fizzy drink is just as addicting as what it tastes like, to be completely honest with you. Would you consider beer a fizzy drink? I honestly don't even remember the last time I've drank. It might have been a damn whole year at this point since I've had a drink. It's not like against drinking, I need a reason to drink anymore. It got boring. Be stuck at home, not able to go anywhere just because I started drinking. But I hear a lot of people actually have started to kind of give up on drinking. At first, I was kind of like the only one I knew that was like, nah, I don't really drink anymore. And now almost everybody at work is like, yeah, I'm over it. Those bombs like that, it's like they're obvious that you shouldn't get hit by that, so when you do, they hurt. Yeah. Yeah, alcohol is just bad, man. Like when you weigh the effects of what it does to your body, you know, it's worse than freaking smoking. Like quite literally, like one of the worst things you can do. Like almost everything is related back to, well, how much do you drink every day? I've actually had doctors look at me like, you're telling me you don't drink, with like a side eye, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not into it. I don't really have a reason to drink anymore. You know, I'm 40 years old. I got a kid I'm trying to raise and get into college, trying to pay all my bills. I don't need to be sitting there in a bar, you know, paying some cute little girl money just to hand me a frickin' beer over the counter. Like, I don't know.
Whatever.
Don't really have friends that would want to come over and frickin' drink. Well, I guess I do, as long as I was buying the beer. Take it back. I know people that would come over as long as I was buying. Take this back. Well, that's pretty much why I don't see my parents. I mean, they don't come over to my house because it's like, well, if I came over there, you know, we wouldn't be able to drink and drive home. It'd be kind of rough to get that hammered over at your house. So you'd have to drive home. I didn't even really like beer when I did drink. I was more of like a whiskey. Bourbon, whiskey, whatever you want to call it. Me and my wife actually did go to Tennessee. Or no, we went to Kentucky. That was where we did the bourbon tour. They actually made some damn good bourbon. You got to drink that shit right out of the still. It was like fire. Literally just like set your mouth on fire. Like watching people try to drink it and the guy's like, now I'm telling you, this is not gonna be what you're used to. He was not lying. It's gonna be a little bit different than the bourbon that you're used to, because it ain't been barrel aged yet. Alright, I cleared that dungeon. Look at that. I do have my own habits, though. I can't judge anybody for drinking. I don't blame anybody. You gotta get what makes you happy. I think that's the most important thing. Because nobody's gonna live forever. It seemed like I didn't clear that dungeon out. It's still got the little treasure chest in there. Interesting. I can't do that mission yet. We'll do that one. Man, thank God for fast travel, right? Now, I think I like it the way that you've got to find the area first before you can fast travel. That, I mean, makes fast travel to me worth it. Because you've already done the whole exploring the world and stumbling upon this location. Yeah, you never even got into it. I was pretty bad. I don't know if you've seen any of my guitar playing videos that I've posted, Ben. But I thought I was going to be a rock star at some point. And so for us, it was literally like, that's what you had to do to be a good musician, was get drunk. So I mean, when we were 14, when we very first got the idea of starting a band, you know, our parents were already like, all right, if you guys are gonna drink, you know, you gotta drink at home and nobody can leave anywhere. So we were 14 years old having our parents basically praying that we would become alcoholics. Like, I swear to God, all of our parents, the best day of their lives was when we could all legally drink with them. But seriously, you know, we were 14 years old and like being trained to become alcoholics. And that's just what we thought we had. Hey man, we're gonna be in a band. We gotta get hammered every freaking day. Only dark chocolate, right now. No, you're not. The only thing in doing well is not eating. Oh, okay. You're not eating dark chocolate. Yeah, me and my wife have a affinity for dark chocolate too. It's like her favorite. I like any kind of chocolate. I'm chocolate on top of chocolate on top of chocolate guy. Drives my wife crazy. Every time we get ice cream, she'll be like, all right, what kind of ice cream are we gonna get? And then she thinks about it. She's like, never mind, it's just gonna be chocolate with chocolate inside of chocolate. Hey, Star Trek Wars, may the 4th be with you as well. Welcome in, I'm sure you're having a good day. Did I just see that they put Star Wars on Hulu for this today? Am I imagining that? I could have swore I saw that Star Wars was on Hulu yesterday. That actually totally makes sense now. I was like, that's random. They waited all this time to get Star Wars on here, but no, that makes sense. Hi, Kristen, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. May the 4th be with you. Now we got a party. Speaking of Star Wars, did you know that my dog's name is Milo Ren? Star Trek Wars? Did you know that? Come on, tell me that's not a 10 out of 10 dog name. Sometimes he throws a fit like Kylo Ren. He'll have a treat in his mouth. He's like, "Arr!" Man, it's those slow-moving projectiles that just eat you alive in this game. Oh, you're not okay, Kristen? I hope you're doing better. Hopefully it's just the weather or something and you clear up. Right? Isn't he ridiculous? But he hates getting his picture taken too. Hey Vaughn, how you doing? It's the craziest thing. Like if you sit there and you're watching him pose and look all cute, he'll sit there and do that. But as soon as he sees that you've pulled your phone out to take a picture, he knows that's what you're gonna do. I'm telling you. He'll like jump up and look all like, what are you doing? Welcome in, Vaughn. Have you played Diablo before? Anyone played Diablo 4? Actually, see if anybody wants to play Diablo in here. This is multiplayer now. Thinking sinus infection. Yeah. I kind of feel that way too. I almost wonder if it's like the pressure or the something just weather related. You ever been looked at for sleep apnea? That's what they told me was potentially the problem with my morning headache. But I never went and got it looked into any further because I got my blood pressure under control without spending more money on a sleep study. Oh, you did play a little bit, Vaughn? Once last year for the first time. Diablo 4 or Diablo 3? I put so much time, probably 2,000 hours on Diablo 3. I bought it on multiple platforms too. I had that on PC and PS3. I think it came out on PS3, but I played it mostly on my PS4. The new ice cream short. You could play games, Kristen. We're gonna have to save up and get Kristen like a collective awesome ass streaming PC and get Kristen started on streaming. You've already got the doggo mascots. Oh, Necromancer. Nice. Yeah, that one is so fun. Having all the skeletons just mobbing around with you. There's nothing better than having like a freaking army of skeletons. My other one is a Necromancer, but I wanted to do a hardcore run. What's this ice cream short about, Ben? I know I've heard of GB. Great Beyond, right? Is that who we're talking about? Great Beyond? I think that's who we call Great or GB in the chat, right? They actually made the Barbarian class really fun in this. I almost never play like the Barbarian in Diablo, but this one they made really good. That looked like a freaking trap. What is going on down here? That is definitely a trap. And yeah, why not just spring it? I didn't know how else I was gonna get through there. I'm in Dom and Von's Discord. I don't know, I'm not like the most active person in Discord. Like, no offense to anybody. I don't know, I feel like I get annoying. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like when I'm in places like that, people just find me annoying. Almost like I'm always the only person in the room having fun. I don't want to sound like too big of a jerk. But that's kind of the reason why I don't join too many of those. Or I shouldn't say join, but I'm not too active in Discord. But I think it is. I think my name on there is just Narkill1134. GNARKILL 1134. Oh, for sure. Right? We're gonna trade. I'm gonna trade my sister for Kristen. And then that way, her brother that's not that cool, and my sister that's not very cool, can be not very cool together as siblings. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna stick around. I just got in a mood, I think. I really think that's all it was, Kristen. I just got in a mood. It's just depressing that I know, like, I've only gotten better at making videos and getting them on here, and it doesn't seem like any of that has paid off in any kind of way.
A foolish priest.
It seems like when I was just winging it, like my most popular video on here, I put no effort into doing anything other than like recording the gameplay footage, and that found a way to get 53,000 views. And then like the more work I put into a video, you know, I haven't even came close. I barely even get 100 views on a video anymore.
My heart.
And like, I don't even know how that just out of the blue started getting so bad,
But it wasn't
I don't know.
life that moved.
I feel like I've gotten better at thumbnails and actually making videos that are interesting. It just hasn't paid off. So that's why I kind of went in that stupid moody.
I had to kill you.
Attitude for a couple days.
I tried to give you a death more painless than your first.
See, and then there's just one skeleton that just won't ever die.
Your soul is now. May the light protect.
Oh no, I don't play Barbarian. This is a sorcerer. I don't play Barbarian too often, but they actually made it fun in this one. There's a lot of really cool area of effect spells and almost like projectile type stuff that they found a way to make Barbarians a hell of a lot more interesting. But yeah, this is a sorcerer. I wonder if there's a goblin up there. There's a goblin. It's like, there is. It's gotta be. Trying to get me killed. I ran into that like an idiot. Massive mouth. But yeah, a treasure goblin is not worth dying over when you're a hardcore character. Yeah, I feel like the magical characters always have the best abilities and just the most interesting characters to play as. And then like rogues almost always feel like nerfed versions of a sorcerer. You know, because they just have arrows that are actual arrows that are on fire. Instead of like a spell that's a fire arrow, you know, they literally just have arrows that you set on fire. So a little redundant. I mean, it's a little bit of a gameplay change. But I don't know, in a game like this, a thief and a rogue don't really make much sense. Because, I mean, you're never sneaking up on enemies and, like, stealing from them as, like, a rogue in this game. Like, you can't play Diablo with stealth. It does not exist. So the fact that there's, like, a thief or a rogue class or whatever is like, huh? You gotta get really creative to make that work, don't you? Of course I went the wrong way. I missed a turn back in Albuquerque, I think. Your necromancer could detonate dead body. Right, that was awesome. That's still one of my favorite freaking abilities of the necromancer. That's been a staple since, I think, Diablo 2. I think the necromancer was DLC for Diablo 2 when they added that. That was the last class I ran in Diablo 3, so I think I did that one first. I take that back. That was my first class on this. And sorcerer I hadn't done. That's what it was. I hadn't been a sorcerer, so that's why I decided to do that as my hardcore now. Alright. Here we go. Man, they make it like part of the freaking quest survive, like it's not. Just simply survive. Oh, that was easy. Oh no, I left the dicey. Wow. That really wasn't that hard, was it? Yeah, it's got to be hard to make classes in a video game nowadays, but I mean, they've really done almost everything in a video game. I think that with a lot of action games, like, what could they do to make this more interesting, you know, with the sequel? You know, because all you really do in any video game is run up to something and attack it. But they find interesting ways with Diablo. I was surprised with the Barbarian. Like I said, they got a lot of like ground attacks and area of effect things that make it more than you're just running up to something going, smashing it with a hammer the whole time. But to the same effect, I mean, if you're playing a Necromancer, you just raise 10 skeletons. And then you just run through as they kill everything. I think there's even like a spell that allows you to chain body explosions so that like if you set it up in the right way, you can just literally have all the bodies just kind of exploding and take out a whole area. I was never good enough to do stuff like that. I'm always like lucky to have survived an encounter. It's crazy because normally in some games you play them with a mouse and a keyboard or a controller. It's one or the other. You know, you get used to playing it one way and that's it. But this, I don't know. I've always played Diablo with the mouse and keyboard. Damn, this thing might fucking kill me. That thing is brutal. Hold, please. Trying not to die. Trying not to die. Trying not to die. Freeze, freeze, freeze. No! Why did that not freeze him? Man, that was fucking close. That was almost a dead fucking hardcore character right there. Woo! Alright. I gotta take a second. That was... Boom, 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 boom. All different configuration. I actually switched spells that summoned the ghost that helped me, and it took forever. Right? That's the thing. You get like there's so many like fine details, like especially when the abilities start leveling up. Like I know it's different in Diablo 4, but like there's all kinds of different little things that like every time there's a new level, you know, something else will appear in that description. Honestly, love the trailer for this game. How the men in the tomb and then the blood makes a big web that turns into the skin and she comes through, right? That Blizzard has always had amazing cinematics like that. That was probably the first thing that made me fall in love with Blizzard. Was StarCraft and Warcraft always had incredible cinematics like that, like top notch. The only thing that even rivaled that was Squaresoft, you know, like with Final Fantasy games. That's the only thing that even came close. Yeah, there was an ability to change the skeletons like ghost wizards. That right, I remember that. Right, and then they chose to make a movie over Warcraft, which is a hell of a a lot more of a hard sell than Diablo. You know, if you ask me, that should have been the very first Blizzard. Either that or StarCraft. You know, Diablo or StarCraft. Get like more relatable, groundable characters. That really is the two franchises from Blizzard that should have. Warcraft is too big. Trying to sit there and make a Warcraft movie, it's too ambitious. It's just hard to focus on one particular story with Warcraft. Because shit, in Warcraft now there's like 8 factions or something like that. Am I imagining that? Yeah, now that I didn't lose my Blizzard account, I might get back into StarCraft. I was actually really good. I was able to take very hard AI down at some point. Me, Scott, and Shane.
Splintered and
we'd get
broken
down on
as
that
they
for
should be.
hours.
This will be a most
I think that's probably one of the coolest multiplayer experiences ever, is getting like 3 different people on a StarCraft map to play teammates. Man, I don't think it gets any better than that when it comes to StarCraft. I think that's why I created my Discord account, actually, now that I think about it, was StarCraft. Because all that game has is like a chat feature. All right, which one of these do I want? I need to finish this off. Hitting a stun enemy. I use this more. Firebolt increases burn damage. Firebolt in. Oh, that's a typo. I thought I was reading that. Firebolt increase the burning damage you deal to the enemy. That's a typo. I thought I was like not reading that correct. Let's go with more damage. I don't really run out of mana often. Ben's still lurking. You're all good, brother. I like talking, but I definitely don't demand you're active. It's all good. Especially when I'm here trying to pick an ability, and now I gotta run off and sell a bunch of crap really quick. I appreciate everybody just simply being here. Well, that wasn't very great gear right there. Yeah, let's switch the helmet out, why not? How many more days do you have to get to 1,000 in that survival game you're playing, Ben? Saw you were at like 100 or something the last time I watched. And I can confirm that the donut this morning was incredible as always. Donut Castle has not let me down. I guess my character doesn't look that stupid now. I think all the colors could match. And that wouldn't hurt. Must be selected. What? An unlocked look must be selected before you can select a pigment. Oh, which means you gotta go through this. We're gonna go kill some stuff for a little while first, before I mess with that. Oh wow, I'm whittling down the side missions pretty quickly. We might have to go after some story stuff. How about that? Let's go after Act 2. Now you guys can see the horse. I'm gonna jump on the horse. Doing some shopping on Shine. No worries. No worries at all. Did you find anything? Yeah, you should get on this, Vaughn. We could do multiplayer for sure. This game is 1,000 times better with multiplayer. We wouldn't have to do a hardcore run. I would just create a new character. Because the game actually scales. I think the difficulty and everything changes with more. I got the Vessel of Hatred expansion. I think it was like 25 bucks. I don't know if it's still on sale, but it was 25 bucks. And you could get like the whole game with the expansion for like 45, I think. So that was actually a pretty good deal. Game Pass. Oh, okay. Good question. That's right. Microsoft owns Activision and Blizzard now. How did I freaking forget that? That's a good call. This is definitely still on Game Pass, I want to say. Shit, I didn't see that Wraith just sitting right on top of me. Shit. Swarm. Come on, familiar. I love those things. I wish there was a mod to make those little familiars look like the bombs from Final Fantasy. Like these guys. They're one of my coolest 3D prints. Tell me that ain't a cool 3D print. Yeah, you've been without a controller for a minute, haven't you? Made a smaller one. I don't know how good it looks on the camera. I've kind of gotten away from 3D printing in YouTube. Just nobody's watching it. It seems like viewership's down with everybody that's doing 3D printing related stuff. There's just nothing to really talk about. It's kind of gotten quiet. I mean, I could show how many. These are my top 5 favorite 3D print tools. You know, how many videos can somebody make and watch? But yeah, seems like anything gaming related gets hundreds more views than anything I've done 3D printing. This is my Umbreon that I made. I actually designed this model and posted it on Maker World. That's pretty much what's made my Maker World account what it is today. Yeah, Milo Ren likes to just bark his head off. We got him a bark collar. It was the best thing that's ever happened because that makes him shut up. He knows he can't bark when he's got his collar on. It's incredible how smart he is. I'll tell you that right now. Like, that is easily, he's like Cocker Spaniel, Mastiff, and Beagle. And he is such a smart little freaking shit. I'm used to a dumb dog that just kind of looked at you like, yeah, dude, I hear you calling my name. And I'm going to stay out here anyway. That's the thing about this game, man. Like, you'll be following a path trying to go somewhere, and then you're like, squirrel! Run off in 10 other different directions, because you fucking 100 different other things. Oh, you have a groundhog in the area? And so naturally, a chihuahua wants to kill. Yeah, I designed all that in Blender, Vaughn. Yep. That's my 3D printing design tool of choice. Only because that's what I learned on. It was free on Steam, and so I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna learn Blender. I watched like 4 tutorials. Because that's the only reason why my buddy kept trying to get me into 3D printing probably a year before I actually did. He's like, I cannot believe that you aren't into 3D printing. And I was just like, I don't know, man. I don't know anything about it. Like, quite literally, I knew nothing about it 2 years ago. And I was like, I don't know, man. I wouldn't have anything to actually 3D print. That was kind of my biggest problem, was I didn't have anything to really print. And so I wanted to learn how to actually make things, you know, before I actually started to print them, because a lot of people are like, oh, I thought I was just going to start a 3D printing business and it was just going to be like money printed. Well, you got to have something unique to print if you're going to try and make money. You know, that's probably the #1 thing. So I designed these little caps. I don't know if you've seen vape pens that are literally like the shape of a pen. But I designed a cap. This thing, actually, that you slide over a vape pen. You know, so it looks like when this is just in your pocket, you know, it doesn't look like you're holding a vape pen in your pocket. So once I designed this, you know, that was my very first goal, was to design like a product. Because sometimes, you know, you just don't want everybody knowing that you've got a vape pen in your pocket. So that was my initial idea of like, okay, I need to design a product before I get into 3D printing. And so I learned Blender. I made that vape pen cap, and I know a bunch of people that freaking love it. And from that point on, it was just, all right, well, now I got to design something a little more crazier than a pen cap. But yeah, it grew out of that. Quite literally, that was the initial idea. Was just to hide a vape pen in my pocket. I also wanted it to have a little clip that held it in my pocket, because that was another thing. I bend over a lot at work, and it was just flying out of my pocket. Groundhog doesn't know he's a groundhog. He was up in a tree. What? More drama for Gypsy. Oh yeah, I can sell them for sure. Yeah. Because it's all me. You know, I didn't steal any of that. That's quite literally like I designed it from polygons on my computer. So there's nothing stolen from anybody. I've not really decided to go down the just posting them on an Etsy route, just because that's too much trouble. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know anything about Etsy, but I also don't want to. I also don't want to pay somebody else to sell my product for me. So that's probably another big problem with Etsy that I have is I'm not going to make a whole lot of money off of one of these things anyway. So to have Etsy want to take like 30% of what I'm making, I don't know. That just seems like it's not worth my effort. I'm not going to sell 1 million of them. And then if I do sell 1 million of them, that probably will attract Nintendo's attention. I'm not talented at all, trust me. Did I tell everybody the funny joke? I think I told this one in Ben's chat. Here's a funny joke for you guys. Here's my joke of the day. I'm probably like in the top 1/3 of people in the world as far as like talented guitar players. Like I'm pretty freaking good, you know? Humble brag. I'm actually really good at playing guitar. But I've never made $1 from playing guitar. Not even $1. And then my job, I'm probably the world's worst mechanic. And they pay me extremely well for being a terrible mechanic. So tell me that isn't funny. Crazy how the world works. Where am I going? Okay. For a minute there, I was like, wait a minute. What is the end destination here? That's not too far. But yeah, as far as talent, it's not always recognized and rewarded. Just put it that way. But I do appreciate you enjoying all my work. I'll tell you how I got this talented though. YouTube. Like I might not be good at actually like YouTube content, but like everything that I'm good at, I got good at because of YouTube. Like I tell people all the time, you know, like people say, where'd you learn to play that song? You know, I'll bet you were in the Guitar Mag. And I was like, no, actually, you know, this guitar player taught me how to play this about 3 years ago. And they're like, wait a minute, you actually met, you know, whatever guy from that band? And I'm like, no, but he has a YouTube channel. And on the YouTube channel, he actually shows you how to play this song. And like their jaws drop. Like, wait a minute, that's a thing? I'm like, yeah, I know for a fact that this is exactly how James Hetfield plays this song. You know, like he's literally done it in 100 different videos where he shows me exactly how to play this, and they're like, no way. Like, there's this like crazy moment. Like, that's a thing now where you can actually have the person that wrote the song, you know, just a second away on the internet to show you how to actually play it. But almost everything I've ever learned as far as like 3D printing, I wouldn't say everything as far as guitar. I've known some people who have shown me some things on guitar. So maybe not all the guitar stuff I've learned, but shoot, like home improvement stuff, how to build a computer, how to diagnose all that stuff. I mean, shoot. I'm an internet, or a YouTube mechanic is what they're called. I passed my mechanic exam by following teachings on YouTube. That is a very, very valuable skill, Christian. Being able to trim your dog's nails. Hell, you could probably make a lot of money doing that too. Oh, that bird is freaking tough. Still pretty gifted when it comes to handling, caring for pets. Yeah, because that's a passion. You know, you love animals, you love your animals, so that's not something that you even look at as work. You know, if you love what you do like that every day, you know, you're never gonna work a day in your life if you love what you do. I don't necessarily love what I do. Getting my hands hurt every day really sucks. But helping people in like wheelchairs and with mobility problems, you know, we have a lot of people that have like one leg and they can't drive because their right leg has been amputated or whatever. So then we install an accelerator on the left side of their brake so they can actually drive again. So I mean, we come into a lot of like unique situations at work, and it's seeing the customers whose lives you've changed that's the rewarding part. You know, like actually doing the work kind of sucks, but when it's all over and you see the person that's able to get out of their house now and go somewhere, that's where it's rewarding. Obviously, the money doesn't hurt. At least a bad mechanic is regulating, right? Right? No, I'll take a job over not having a job. Shoot. It's just pretty ironic of like how talent is unrecognized. You know, like that's kind of the real like point of the joke is it's like I'm actually really extremely good and ahead of the curve at something, and it goes for nothing.
If you have needs.
You might as well say I'm the best Super Mario Brothers player in the world, and like, who cares?
I'm looking for a Haradrim named Donan. An old friend of his sent me.
At this hour, I'd wager he's in the keep. Check with the guard at the door.
Yeah, Milo won't sit still for baths or nail trims. He's like, nope. He's like, where's the spray cheese? If you get the spray cheese, you can get him to focus in on that for a little while.
He's upstairs in the Great Hall with his son. Keep it quick.
That looks sick. Satan can kiss my ass. In honor of the great heraldic mage Danon and the brave druids Arida and Nafane, who vanquished the demon Astaroth and ended the days of it. Wow, that was a mouthful. Those names.
Dad, I need to be out in
This
the
is the
field
coolest
for
little
5
area
minutes.
I've been in so far.
Quite a rush, my boy. You know, I found some of my old
where I'm supposed to
heraldic
be.
tomes. Stay here, and we can go
That
through them
Danon?
together.
I can take some with me. We have a visitor.
There was a horse mountain warcraft that had the wings like the angels from Diablo, right? Yeah, like the glowing blue ones. It almost looks like you can just see like the veiny looking thing. Like I know what you're talking about. Those were sick. I had them actually for my character in Diablo 3 too. I think that was like a seasonal reward or something. Cheerios, yeah. Yeah. And they've done a lot of cool stuff like that with crossovers, because even in StarCraft, you can get some really
This
cool
discussion
skins like that.
is not over. Is there something you need?
I have a message.
Oh,
from
what are you
Laura.
crying for, huh?
Wow. There's a name from another life. Has the old man finally come down from the mountain?
With a warning. An ancient evil walks the land.
What are you crying for,
The
huh?
demon. Lilith.
And
What are you
know
crying for?
this how?
Being a good boy?
Did you and Laura discover something of interest?
Are you a good dog?
Perhaps this is all connected to what you saw, Father.
You gonna say hi to everybody? You gonna say hi?
Yes, I was
Come on.
just getting to that.
Come say hi.
There was an incident
There's that Milo
at
ran.
my estate. Probably best if we discuss it there. Go and have a look around for yourself. I'll meet you shortly. And then
You
we
saying
can
hi to
talk more.
everybody?
As for your
You gonna
request,
show them how you give paw?
get to Bracesteg and be careful. Stay close to the other knight's penitent.
Like a good boy.
I will. Don't worry.
Come here. Come here. Hey, do it. Milo. Hey, do it. Hey. Come on. Come on. What? What? You got a toy? The Milo Ren makes the appearance. He's sniffing around for food. He's like, I know you've got something around here. He smelled my donut when I came down. He's been freaking out ever since, I think. That's the only way I can get him to pay attention to me is to have food. If my wife or my daughter's around, forget about it. Or any other female for that matter. My wife thinks it's like, he must know he's being watched, right? That's what I'm telling you, every time. Every time there's a camera pointed at him, it's like he knows.
Look at this. These stone tablets contain some of the earliest written works of my Druidic ancestors. All destroyed.
I've got a video where he, like, I was wearing my Apple Vision Pro, and he had no idea, like, obviously what was going on there.
Even eating
And he's just like looking at me all crazy, tilting his head back and forth. But I get him to do like so many tricks like perfectly, and like totally have him play up for the camera. And then like when we actually try to get a camera out and record him doing that same stuff, he's like, nope. But I am probably gonna end this after I get done with this mission here. I got family stuff to do. My daughter's gonna be graduating in, I think, like 3 more weeks. So we've got stuff to run around and go do. They actually just told me they were leaving, and I'm like, yeah, I'll catch up.
Welcome to.
But we'll go through this. We'll do like one more dungeon, and then we'll call
I'm
it.
here about the incident.
I'm sure they'll have me go run around.
Donan gave me permission to look around.
Because this is the beginning of a story,
Incident.
That was all he said.
or the second act of story.
He must be referring to his study. Something unsettling transpired there.
Right? Yeah. I'm an old man. My kids graduate. What I really hope for the most, though, is that she's, you know, we throw her a nice big party, people come, and she gets enough money to buy a nice car. You know, that's what I want to do. I want to send her to college with a nice car without going broke. It's ridiculous what, like, a reliable car costs nowadays. When I was a kid, you could probably spend $2 to $3 grand and have a pretty reliable car. It is just not the case anymore. A $2 grand car is like, well, hopefully you get 6 months out of that. Stack of papers bearing the title, The Fall of Astaroth. It appears to be an unfinished chronicle of Donan's battle against the demon. Numerous lines have been crossed out and rewritten. Uh-oh, I think we're gonna get a cutscene here. I think I'm gonna shut up. Smoke them if you got them.
This can't be.
Oh, the mechanic who checks your car every year.
And I know
The next
you.
year it probably won't be worth fixing.
Donan.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, honestly though,
tired
he'd want the money if
Each
it was
day
worth
struggle
fixing.
to
I
live
think.
up to your own legacy.
If I know anything about mechanics,
Astaroth.
he'd definitely tell you to
dead.
bring it back in.
Astaroth cannot die. Not by your hand. What have you done with him?
Away, demon. I deny you.
You have grown so frail. I can make you the hero you were.
Return to the darkness from whence you came. I said away!
Good boy. You gonna roll over? You gonna show everybody roll over? Good boy. Well, shoot, most mechanics know that there's like a trust issue with mechanics nowadays, and shoot, like I've seen commercials where they almost like play on people's fears of like, don't take your car to a mechanic that's going to rip you off. But we're actually kind of like specialized mechanics. We work, like I've told you actually, we work on handicapped vehicles, like vans that have been made so that people in wheelchairs can access them. And so we're kind of like a like specialized mechanics in a way. He showed off for you guys. He's smart, I'm telling you. Normally if we were upstairs, I don't even have to say anything to him. I just kind of give him this like sideways look like Milo, and he just does it. Oh shoot. Everybody play Metal Gear, Otacon, every time you die. You'll like the Vol Kodiaks in this Von. They're like giant dogmen.
Goatmen. They've never dared come so close to the estate.
Goatmen.
Perhaps they were drawn by Lilith's presence. I saw a vision of her in your study.
What do you mean, a vision?
I don't fully understand how, but it isn't the first time.
Full of surprises, aren't you? No wonder you caught Lorath's attention. Well, now you understand my predicament. A daughter of hatred in my own home. She must be furious I cast her out.
That painting on your wall, who are the others in it?
Why do you ask?
You were listening to some stories earlier. You know what? That might inspire me to do that while I'm on the road.
Cain and Erida, the druids who helped me slay Astaroth. Yes. Yes, I think you're onto something.
Absolutely terrifying.
So she might question them about the demon next. There are knights stationed in
The one I heard,
the druids.
the interview of the lady, I just think like if that's acting, why isn't this if this is acting, this person shouldn't be on like an obscure little YouTube channel, you know, recounting her story of like, oh, you know, yeah, oh, here's the script, and if she's that good of an actress, like, why is Scarlett Johansson winning awards for like being a good actress? Because that would be good acting, not none of this Marvel Black Widow bullshit. You know, like the woman that's telling you this story about a dogman, and you can like hear the shaking in her voice. I mean, that's good acting if you're telling me that's fake. So I have a tendency to believe
the attack
the
on the
story
manor
I
has
heard.
left many wounded, and our healing supplies are almost exhausted. Please, could you travel to Keregar and ask Corman the alchemist to send anything he can, and tell him to hurry. Every moment is.
But they call them Vol Kodiaks in this. There's some people who you can literally hear the genuine fear in their voice. That's what I'm saying. Even break down. Right. Like if that's acting, if you're telling me, oh, they're just acting, then why is that person not a professional, paid like actor that you know more than some of these shitty actors out there? Explain that to me. Because it's believable. I mean, I know AI can do a lot, but I don't know. I don't see the editing in the one I watched anyway, being able to do that as convincing. What was down there? I do think I wish the view would go out just a little bit more.
Poor man must have his hands full tending to so many.
The zoom's a little tight.
I'll pack up everything I can spare and send it off to him immediately.
This is how fast travel should be. You get to the new area, you unlock it. I don't know, I think it's perfect. I feel like it's just popular right now to bitch about Blizzard and Activision. I think that's what really gave this game a bad rep. Is that it was just popular to be like, yeah, Activision Blizzard sucks. I worked for Apple for 6 years. I know how people can just hate a company just to have something to focus their hate towards. That was literally what Apple would get on a daily basis. It's just like, I don't have anything else to really important going on in my life right now, so I'm just going to sit here and tell you that Apple sucks. That was probably the worst part of dealing with it, working at Apple. Like, as soon as you told somebody that you worked for Apple, they had to tell you why they have an Android and why your phones suck. And it's like, dude, I don't even care. Like, you think now that I'm off of work that I want to be sitting here talking to somebody else about a fucking iPhone? Like, I've been in Mac and iPhone world for the past 10 hours. The last thing I want to do is talk about why my phone sucks compared to yours. The one you're listening to today, I heard him on the channel. You showed me, but someone else had interviewed him. Oh man, crazy. So you can actually see like the fear in this man then, instead of just hearing it. See, so you know, man, like why would that person not be like a extremely well-known established actor if they were that fucking convincing? I thought this was a blacksmith. Oops. New area. Sorry, I'm new here. Sorry, everybody, I'm new here. I'm from out of town. See, you got the better southern accent than I do, even, Vaughn.
The Downs is my home.
Like, well, I thought it was my second cousin when I met her.
Poor old parents are getting on in age. Who will protect their home? I would go check on them, but the roads are perilous. Perhaps you could go to my father, Phelan, and see if they need me.
Seriously, though, I don't know if you saw it today, but there was actually somebody in here, Vaughn, that was like, hey, Steve, how's it going? I subscribed to you again. And I'm like thinking to myself, well, what the fuck, man? How are these people always getting unsubscribed from me? Like, is there like some kind of fucking conspiracy or something going on? Always revert to an Australian or a Southern, right? You got the Southern one down. I'll give you that. I am pretty good with the Indian American. Sometimes I am very good. Oh, sir. This guy, I was working at Apple and I took a call, right? And he was telling me that his son dropped like ice or something on his phone. You know, there was definitely a language barrier there. And he's like, "Sir, you do not understand. I have ice on the phone and it is getting inside." And he's going on. And I was like, "Well, we need to, I mean, like your phone's waterproof. So if anything, you know, we should get a towel." And he was like, as soon as I said get a towel, he was like, "Oh my goodness, sir, you are so smart. Why not think of this? Get a towel." Oh, very smart, sir. And he's just like mocking the shit out of me over like me being like confused over what he's talking about. But it's like, you're telling me you dropped some ice on your phone and your phone isn't working. Like, what else would I be able to do? Like, I mean, like, we got to dry it off. Like, and then get it into a store. But he was just like, "Oh, you are a very genius, sir. Why am I not think of this myself?" Get a towel. Oh, thank goodness I have one right on top of it. You are very smart. But see, I'm not like actually making fun of anybody because I sound like an idiot too. I'm sure there's plenty of people that make fun of the way I talk. And I get that.
See some steel you need?
Right, your subs go up 15 and then you lose 10. Like, what the hell is that? Like, I just don't understand. And then somebody finds your channel again and they tell you like, "Wow, I like what you're doing. I'm subbing again." And it's just like, how could this be? Like, what am I doing wrong? Is it literally that like the freaking algorithm and the gods conspire against people to be like, "No, you are not going to get this YouTube thing off the ground, no matter what"? Because that's what it feels like. It literally feels that like no matter what I do at this point, it's always going to be one step forward, two steps back. And like there's just nothing I can do about it. I thought it was because I was a troll at some point and I was going out there saying shit that was just like angering everybody. Because I'm kind of like the guy that's always in the middle. You know, like politically, I don't lean one way or another. I'll tell everybody that they sound like idiots. And so that's kind of like an isolating place to be when it's always so binary left and right. So I thought that that was what was kind of neutering my channel, so to speak. But I mean, I've been so good at just keeping my mouth shut for the past 2 years that like I can't believe I'd have a reputation that was like that bad. But yeah, it does just seem like it goes up and it goes down and that like there's nothing really to it. So your mom's parents were both from the South and your mom would get that draw from yeah. Well, my wife's grandparents moved down to Kentucky when she was kind of young. And so they had that Kentucky, "Hi, y'all." And I absolutely adore it.
What's left, you
Especially
ask?
that Kentucky one. Like the Kentucky's so like unique, even for the Southern. "I know your vids are being shown to people, but it must be doing something wrong because the views compared to the amount of people seen the video. Oh, my last video was shown to 20. Oh, I'd kill for that, Vaughn. Shoot. If my videos get shown to 2,000 people, I'd do a cartwheel up my stairs. I mean, I'm at the point right now where if I get 50 views, I get the little green arrow that's like, "Your video's doing better than normal, bruh." It's like, man, look at my total view count and tell me that ain't fucking bullshit. But I only get 1.1K views, and that happens a lot. But mostly vids that barely get over 100 views. Huh. The odd one over 1,000. Yeah, now, I mean, it seems like I'm lucky to get 50. I just feel like maybe YouTube is getting too big, and they've like decided that, you know what, the people that we have partnership with us right now, that's all we really need. But I've also seen channels that, I hate to be mean, and this is gonna sound like chauvinistic or egotistical or whatever, but I've seen people that can't talk to other people or a camera nearly as good as I can, and I've seen their channel blow up, like literally watching the thousands of subscribers go up like every day. Like I've literally seen this, where there's a couple channels where I'm like, how is this just blowing me away? You know, like, and I know that sounds egotistical, but like, I'm a pretty good speaker and I can get pretty entertaining if I needed to be, and nobody gives a shit. And then somebody that can't even talk into a camera without stumbling over themselves and sounding like a buffoon has a channel that's growing like ridiculous. I don't know. Amelia seen growth through creating shorts. Yeah, but see, that's the problem, is the people that watch shorts don't watch streams, and like that there's a problem. I mean whatever works for her, I hope keeps working, but I feel like that doesn't attract the quote unquote right viewers. I know it sounds really fucking stupid. You're the same. I see Minecraft channels with shit audio and no editing. Yeah, and they explode. Like, all of a sudden, it's just like, how? How are there thousands of people deciding to sit and subscribe and watch this not good content? You know, like, let's just be honest. I'm not going to trash it and go any worse than that, but it's just not good, and it's blowing up. I know people that use like AI editing software to just like steal other people's videos and almost like remix it to like music and like chop it up, and then they re-spit the video out. And those channels are growing at like 10 times the clip mine is. Lots of parents using lots of kids using parents' account. Yeah, something like that. It really is fun. It really is like the lotto. That's why I can't just say like I'm just walking away from it, because I keep always thinking like, you know what? This isn't costing me anything other than time to make this video, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. You know, because I enjoy it. Look what I'm doing. I'm sitting here chatting with all of you, and I love this. Like, this is more than worth my time. Again, I'd rather sit here and talk to people than have to play the fucking game. It's way better to play a game without somebody watching you than to sit there and be like, all right, let's get on YouTube and be entertaining while we play the game. And that's the truth of it. YouTube likes to pretend it has structure, but it doesn't. Yeah. I mean, when you go onto like a brand new computer at the Apple store, you know that like it always has a clean algorithm or whatever. The channels that it shows are always the same channels, you know, like it doesn't put our channel on a random iMac or a MacBook that's sitting in the Apple store. So I mean, like that right there already shows you, you know, there's a bias. The biggest YouTube channels that have 227 million views, it's all because that video was put in front of 3 billion people. You know, like your channel's just never gonna achieve that. But that's why I try to make what I get out of this now just about interacting with people. I'd much rather be sitting here chatting with Vaughn, Kristen, Ben, all y'all. Fire Kittens was in here. Fire Kittens was the one that was like, oh, I subscribed to you. Again. It's like, well, thanks. I don't know why you were unsubbed. Like, write my name down on the wall or a sticky note or something in case it happens again. Please don't forget me. Because that's really what it is, you know? I mean, like, YouTube is so, like, die-hard and there's so much content out here. You are just gonna be forgotten, you know? Like, let's just be honest. As good as I might possibly ever get at this, I'm gonna be forgettable as soon as I go a week without making a video. If I was in charge, I'd already know the big channels don't need any more publicity and be trying to make smaller channels. Right, exactly, because the way I see it, most of the big channels seem to have people following them so that they can like jump off of their popularity. Like, okay, I'm gonna comment on your videos so that 10 billion people see my channel, and that, like, it's not a genuine audience for those channels all the time. A lot of people are just showing up to almost be seen by that creator's audience. Hell, I've seen it just in your guys' channels. You know, with the people like self-promoting and everything. Like, hey, everybody look at me. I subscribe to you, everybody. And it's like, yeah, I appreciate everybody that's ever done that. And I'm guilty of being like, all right, I subbed today. But like, I haven't seen too many of those people actually even show up to even watch a video of mine. You know, they got my sub by subbing to me, and that was our interaction. You know, that's all I'm ever gonna see from any of these people. I think the unsubs could be attributed to dead accounts. Right, I mean, it just seems to me, honestly, Kristen, what I think it is probably some of that. But I also think it is what I was just talking about, where people will see me in a room and they'll be like, hey, Steve, I just subscribed to you. And then I go and I look and I'm like, oh, that person's right. They did just subscribe to me, didn't they? And then, like, I only noticed them because my count went up. You know, they don't actually register as a subscriber that I can actually see. So then I go back and I look at them and I go, okay, well, I'll sub back to you because that's the person I am. And then they get my sub and then they bounce. You know, they unsub me after I sub to them. So I think there's a lot of that going on. I've actually kind of, like, quote unquote, caught some people that I've met in a stream unsubbing as soon as they got my sub. Because, like, I could actually see the, I don't know if that caught them by guard or what, but, or if they just don't care. YouTube says it removes dead accounts and bot accounts, but then I've had people tell me they've had to resub again. Yeah, I mean, my mother-in-law, that was probably my biggest fan, like, probably still is, she probably just kind of went low-key with it. She has liked and commented and watched every video I've ever posted on here. And she still had to call me up and be like, can you send me a link to your channel? I'm unsubscribed and I can't even find you. So I know there's not even like a, oh, this account's dead or anything like that. You know, they've never liked your videos. Don't know how they even got subscribed to you. Like, no, she interacts with my channel and, like, definitely meant to subscribe, and they still are unsubscribing her? Like, what the fuck is that?
Your thrice damned wardstones
I'm getting worked up. I shouldn't be this worked up, but I put a lot of fucking effort into this sometimes.
Attacked again. What does it look like?
At least you both aren't the type to buy subs. Right. I'll be honest with you, I would never pay money to grow this channel. Because I could never see the money coming back out of it. I've seen what other people... Hell, the largest subscriber, or the biggest channels on here will have, like, you know, 200 million subscribers or whatever. And guess how many views their videos normally pull? Like, not even a quarter of that. Most of the time, the biggest creators' videos don't even pull a quarter of their subscriber base.
Ah, you spoke to Cory. Can't believe he even remembers he has a family.
Right? I even had people send me a video, like a screen recording of their phone, where they're actually going to try to like my video, and as they hit the like button, it does like the animation, and then it takes their like away. So it was like they tried to like it, and then it took it away. It showed them that like, oh yeah, you like that, see? But then if you paid attention to it, the like didn't stay. It was really weird. Again, you could think I'm crazy because I don't have the video, but I'm telling you the truth for sure. But yeah, I know for sure my mother-in-law isn't like a dead account that's never interacted with my channel. That's definitely not her case. I mean, I'm sure I have bots. Anybody that's used a hashtag has attracted bots to their channel. You know, that's something you've got to just deal with. It'd be super nice if bots didn't like kill your channel like it seems to. You know, like once a bot takes over, it seems like all of a sudden everything is in question. How many views does your channel actually have? Because I'll watch my analytics every now and then, and I'll see videos where like hundreds of views end up being just taken away. Like it'll count up to like 600, and then it'll just pause, and then I'll just see all of a sudden the view count will start plummeting. I actually recorded that. That was some weird shit. And then everybody else told me that's kind of just normal. But that is just, yep, that's YouTube catching up with the bots. Probably used just a hashtag that was really popular with bots, and that was it. But I did gain a subscriber while streaming today. We had Fire Kittens come back. We got to see Vaughn and Kristen. Ben was the first one in the room this morning. We appreciate Ben stopping in. Who may or may not still be lurking. 4 point. Facebook, I'm not lying. I don't know. We get to a safe spot, Kristen, so I can read that. I can't pause this game. That's why it's kind of bad for streaming. I cannot pause and make sure I don't die without reading. Not gonna lie, I'm disappointed that no one from my Facebook has subbed you after I shared that guitar video. 4.3 thousand people and they couldn't be bothered. Yeah, it does suck, Christian. You know what though? As somebody that's been playing guitar for 30 years, sadly, that's just expected at this point, man. Like, nobody cares. Like, everybody seems to think that music is just like, what do you mean, man? You go to iTunes and music pops out. You know, nobody thinks that there's actual blood, sweat, and tears and, like, hell, creativity. I think a lot of people don't even have the creativity in them to actually make good music anymore, but you know, that's just me. Yep, that's the sad part about music. It's almost like the easier the music is to produce, like the better it does now. I actually made like a spoof song on my SoundCloud that was literally just like a mismatch of like really stupid hip-hop beats and shit all kind of mashed up, and that is still to this day my most downloaded track on my SoundCloud. It's just like some joke shit that I made. It was literally just kind of like a drum machine making nonsensical noises over and over. Shoot, I could teach you how to play guitar right now. I could literally, over this chat, teach you how to play 3,000 songs plus. And that'd be really easy. Just look up how to make a C, a G, and a D chord on a guitar. Learn how to make those 3 chords on a guitar, and you could play 3,000 songs tomorrow. I promise you. If you want to get really crazy, you could learn A minor, D, C, and G. My favorite little trifecta. The most depressing, A minor and D. I don't know why I have to make depressing music to feel satisfied. Well, the G chord is pretty tough. If you can figure that one out, that's a leg up. But again, you're using, 4 fingers to do that. So once you can learn to make that chord and then change it to either of those other ones I was saying, again, that opens up the ability to play so many songs. And that's not even an exaggeration. You'll be surprised at how many songs are just this song or that song. With a little bit of a different guitar tone, instead of it being, this distorted on a super heavy amp, if you play it a little bit faster, it's a punk song instead of a metal song. So, I mean, if you learn those chords, it's just going to open up so much for you. Because you can play those chords different ways. That's what you'll kind of learn, is that, you can strum a chord, or you could hit the notes out individually. And just that right there, you could strum a chord and then change it up to where you start plucking it individually, and like you've already just wrote a song with one chord. One chord, and you found a way to write a song with that. Like, that's how powerful just knowing chords is. I had my cousin show me, I think, E minor and G. And I think that was, all right, go home and take this guitar home and learn how to do that. And by the time I came back, it was like, holy crap, that was nothing. I'm like, look how good I am all of a sudden. But yeah, I had never even picked up a guitar. And I think within the first 3 days, I had already written my own song and everything that I still to this day think is like my best song. It's not necessarily a song, it's just music. I would say I don't write songs. I like instrumental music more than I like songs. I just feel like everybody's written a million love songs, everybody's written a million I'm sad songs. I like to write songs where somebody can kind of listen to it and get what they want out of the music. Almost like a choose your own adventure, but it's just music. And I feel like I really accomplished that. Like, a lot of my music is almost like a journey where it starts out, A, goes to B, and ends up in C. Especially with everything that I've posted so far, I think you can really see that. Some incredible compliment. Somebody tells you that you're comparable or even anything to like James Hetfield, and you're like, shut up, you're lying. You're being too nice to me now. Wonder if Vaughn got quiet to go download Diablo. You don't need a super crazy PC to play this. Oh, don't kill the fox. I killed the fox. Oh, I could have fast traveled here? I'm an idiot. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I needed to kill a little bit more time. All right, everybody. It's been 2 hours. I got my streaming in for the weekend. Thanks, Ben, Kristen, Vaughn. Who else was in here today? Fire Kittens, thanks for the sub. Hopefully I'm able to stay entertaining. Star Trek Wars was in here today. I forgot about you. Thanks for coming in. I'm glad I got Milo Ren to do the rollover on camera today. Hope everybody got to see that. If you didn't go see that, roll back the stream and check that out.
Oh, goodness. You found one of them. Mistress Brega's works. I thought
yeah, Vaughn, you too. Thanks for coming in.
She was quite the scholar, you know.
Hello, my dear. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy the tea. Be right there with your tea. All right, that was that mission. All right, everybody. Gonna end it. Thanks for stopping.